Good morning. Hello, this is Jane from universemedia.com. I'm doing live stream. Today I'll talk about how I start a cycling trip. Okay, let's see who is now here. I'm using new device, webcam, so I want to see actually how it works. Okay. Is everything's all right? My voice. Is there any lag? Let's see how it works. 10 people watching. Why can I see people list? Why it's like this? Okay, I need time to check. Why I cannot see people? Okay, just 1 second. I cannot see a live chat. Let's check. Why it's like this? Okay, now I can see the live chat. I'm in Thailand, Chiang Mai. Is there everything's okay? Can you type that you can hear my voice and there's no voice is okay? Hello, James. And is there any lag? My voice and screen is sync well? How's it? I tested it a few times, but still it's a bit like, I don't know. It's a bit more difficult than doing on my phone. Okay, everything is smooth. So let's start my. Uh, okay, just 1 second. Let's start how I start a cycling trip. So we have to go back to 7 years, no, like 8, 9 years. We have to go back to 9 years. I start from when I was in South Korea. So, like when I was in South Korea, I didn't have a bicycle. My first bicycle was actually when I was 10 years old. My father bought some bicycles, it was yellow, and it was a folding bicycle. Hello, Gulistan. That was my first yellow bicycle. And then I was cycling everywhere. But once I turned like middle school, someone stole my bicycle, and I never like bought again. I was not interested much because I was like more. I was middle school, and usually like, at the time, girl like didn't cycle. I mean that much. So I really stopped cycling from that time, and I was forget about like cycling feeling. And when I was like 21 years old, I was working in office something, and I got the vacation. So I decided to try. I decided to cycle in some island, but as I told you, I didn't have a bicycle. So I just rented some bicycle and I cycled for 9 days. But at the time, I didn't have any proper bag and I didn't have a computer, bicycle computer. I just cycling, and that was my first experience. Maybe I don't know how many distance I cycled per day. So that was my first experience, and I think it was very difficult. Like I had very painful on my butt, but yeah, and I was very scared. It was the same South Korea, but I was very scared. But somehow I enjoyed. So I went back to my home and I missed actually the place I cycled was called Jeju Island, and I love that place so much. So I moved to that place, yeah, and I enjoyed living there. But actually, there's one thing. One thing I forgot to tell before that cycling trip. I was studying computer science in university, and I actually didn't like my university much, and I want to change my major, and so I studied for I studied to change my major, and yeah, and so I was studying at the time, but then I saw some very interesting information. It is called working holiday visa. I never been out of my country, like never. So I want to try it. Even yeah, and also I was very like curious about uh, North America, and but it's very expensive to go. Like so I decided to go by myself. Like my family said um my family was like my mom sent my oldest brother to America, United States. So we didn't have extra money to send me. To send, like a student to America is very expensive. They're like, oh, we spend lots of money. But he is a boy. He's the first son in my family, so he's more important than me. So my brother was sent to America, but we don't have extra money for me to send. So I decided to go by myself, and so I stopped studying, and I was working in office, and when I had vacation, I went to Jeju Island, and I cycled just by myself 9 days. That was my first experience. And then, yeah, I moved to Jeju Island. But there's then just they'll just actually 1 second. I want to check my screen. It's something very lagging for me. It's a bit slow. Ah, it's different. Okay, my screen is different. A little bit slow. Oh, I don't know actually how to fix it. I'll fix later. I'll just keep talking. So just 1 second. Let's change this to this. Let's change this to this. Okay, I cannot. Video is very good, but actually for me it's uh, I have a very like few seconds slow for me, so it's not sync for me. Hello, Pierre. Pierre, hello, hello. So I talked to you until Jeju Island. Yeah, so I found a working holiday visa. So I decided to go there, you know. And this working holiday visa is from 18 years old to 30 years old. So at the time I was 21 years old, so I just applied, and I must need luck because it's only 4,000 people, young people can go each year, and it's too competitive. But the funny thing is that it's only like first one will go. I mean, like you like there's like deadline that they'll accept this applying form at 9 a.m. So in post office, so I arrived at 9 a.m. Then I got yeah, working holiday visa. So this is the first one we got. That was like rule. So it was very easy. Just I need to look, and I was lucky. So I got Canadian. I mean, I got a working holiday visa. And so uh, s- but I love adventure, so I want to try something new, and it's something crazy thing. I decide to travel without money when I got Canada. So I started with $12. I didn't take I had some money on my bank account, and I have a credit card, check card. But I just want to try traveling without money. I love adventure. I don't know since when I really love adventure. Maybe from the first trip, I think I really liked the adventure. Like I was very scared, but something was interesting. Um, I will keep talking about. Please ask something connected to my story. Like I cannot answer if it's not related. So yeah. So I want to travel without money once I get to Canada. Although and also I had a working holiday visa, so if it's something problem, I can work. So I just got to airport in Canada, Vancouver airport, and I started $12. So I have money to get out of airport. So I got there. I got out of airport, and I was very shy to ask people like, "Oh, can I sleep at your garage?" But I tried to be brave, and then I asked people, but so difficult that people say, "Oh no, no, no." They say usually they really always say no. Some people give me a few dollars, so I just got some dollars to come back to airport. So I slept at the airport 3 nights because nobody wants to give me a place to sleep in Vancouver. And I decided, okay, then let's try couch surfing. But at the time, my English was so horrible. I really couldn't speak well because I never been out of my country, and I didn't have any foreigner friends. So I sent lots of messages and nobody answered, and my profile was really almost empty on couch surfing. My English is bad, nobody answered, and one person answered to me, "Hey, your profile is so empty, and people will not give you accommodation. Maybe you should just work and make money." And yeah, that was true. So I got some people didn't give me any place to stay, but they give me some money. And one day, I got some people want to help me, and I realized that, okay, to travel without money, with a very short English in Vancouver was impossible. I must give up because I already slept in the airport for a few nights. So with that money, I went to some farm. It is called Okanagan. It's BC states, and I just I came out from the bus and I didn't know where it's from, and I just keep walking, and I asked I arrived some farm and I asked, "Oh, I'm looking for a job. Is there something job? I have working holiday visa." And the owner of the farm, actually that's a very big farm that there's a few Korean even, and there are like many actually, like 20, 30, like young people. They were actually the picking cherries. So it was like big farm of picking cherry, but it was already full of people to pick the cherry. So I did the apple thinning. So like there are 5 apples, and I have to drop 2 apples so that I make space for other apple to grow. That was my first job in Canada, in Vancouver. I mean, in British Columbia state province. So I made money, and that was a very like shocking thing for me, because people in the farm are very open mind. How can I say? They're from Quebec. They're very young, so they smoke marijuana. They are gays, and for me, it's shocking thing that I really didn't see gay in the public place when I was in South Korea. And never, ever, never marijuana in South Korea. Maybe some like actress or singer, like, or rich people. Maybe they maybe have marijuana, but for normal people in South Korea, we never ever had a chance to smell. I mean, we are very strict at this kind of thing. So for me, that's like big shock. Wow, this is really different world. So that was very shocking, but I really try to far from this marijuana because I have a very like Korean mindset, like, oh, this is bad. Yeah, but I tried to. I think I didn't really say they are wrong because looks like it's not. How can I say? It's different culture, and they said, "Oh, marijuana is plant." Okay, that is plant. But that was a very interesting. Like that really opened my mind. Like wow, it's just like open new world. That's totally different really world. That was a really good experience to start Canada trip. So I made some money. Like I don't know how much I make. I make like $1,000 for 3 weeks. And this farming season was finished, and everybody left, and also I have to left, and I didn't know what to do. And still, I love adventure, right? So I decided to hitchhike, and so I went to Kelowna. I went to Kelowna by hitchhiking. That was yeah. This first hitchhiking, and I found even couch surfing host. That is my first couch surfing experience. That finally someone accepted me, and I even still remember her, face. And I remember that we went to some like Thai restaurant, and we had curry noodle, and that was really like in very like I have a very happy memory at the time. So it gives very good energy, and then I really decided to keep hitchhiking. And just a second, it's a little bit cold to my place. No, what? Yeah. So I decided to keep hitchhiking, and so I checked to. Oh, I checked, but then one place I stopped. It is called Kenmore. Kenmore is near Banff. It is so beautiful, it's so lovely place, and there's one interesting thing that there's no any homeless people. Like yeah, one thing I got really shocked in Canada was there are too many homeless people, and I couldn't understand. Like on the media, on the Hollywood movie, they're always like like rich people, wealthy people, but then the real thing was the other everywhere homeless, and like I got shocked. Like wow, why they're homeless? But in Kenmore, there was no homeless. It's really like it's a bit touristic, but it's so beautiful place. And I worked in hotel. I did house cleaning. Yeah, I did a cleaning job. It was very hard work, but actually it's an interesting job. Like I entered the hotel room and I see this kind of mess up thing and once I clean and when I finish it and I feel like oh I did a good job. I was really like it's satisfying. Yeah. So I did that job 3 weeks. So I made another money, and so I had money to I had money for food, but I just keep checking because it's something new interesting. My English was really horrible, but I really liked to talk to a driver. But the problem was that I was very sleepy in the car. I don't know. I saw some article there like there not much oxygen in the this limited place. That's why I'm sleepy maybe. So I keep cycling after Canmore to Newfoundland. Newfoundland is the end of Canada. I mean, not end of Canada. I mean, like eastern side. So I cycle from west to east for 4 months. Actually, there's one important thing. This is really important thing. When I was in Toronto, I was staying at couch surfing house. Actually, I stayed at couch surfing house every single time. That's really surprising that I must find the couch surfing house every time. I was so lucky, and people are so kind in Canada. Like they're crazy friendly. They like once I get to their house, like they just open the door for me, like hello, and they just hug me, hey, welcome. It was very, very like interesting. Like people are so friendly. So in Toronto, I was staying at someone's couch surfing house, and at the time, he was with another person. He was from I don't know. He was I cannot remember where he was from, but he said, "Oh, I cycled 1 year through Russia, Europe, and that was like big impression. Like I was just so like." Inspired. Like I thought, wow, you're so amazing. You cycle 1 year. Wow, that's fantastic. And later, I was thinking about, maybe I can cycle as well. I was just thinking, but it wasn't a detailed plan. Just I got impressed by him. But when I was in Korea, there was one cyclist, like 2006. He kept posting about his journey on online, and that was really popular because at the time there are not many cyclists. Maybe he was like only cyclist at the time, and that was really interesting. Like at the time, I was studying to change my major, so I was very stressful, and then I was always waiting to read his blog. And his blog was so interesting because I never been out of my country, and he was sleeping at people's house, and it was so interesting. So that was maybe first kind of inspiring, but I forget, right? And then when I met this guy in Toronto, in Canada, that was a big impression. So I was just thinking, and I just keep moving to the eastern side. So I hitchhiked to Newfoundland. So I hitchhiked for 4 months from west to east in Canada, and I really want to see Northern Light. So because I love to looking at night sky. So I decided to go to Yellowknife. People in Canada usually say, "Oh, you're so crazy. You wanna go to North? There's no job. It's so cold. You're so crazy." Actually, many Canadians say to me, "But I want to try. I'm sure there will be city and there will be jobs." So I just went there. Uh, so I took a bus from so I back to Montreal. It's a little bit eastern side. It's near like Toronto area. And I took the bus from Montreal to the north for 5 days. I love transportation. I love ferry. I love a train. I love bus, and yeah, bicycle, car. I love all kind of, and I love airplane too. So I love all kind of these things. So I really enjoyed the 5 days in the bus, and I get to Yellowknife. And it was I still remember it was 23rd of December, and I got the place to stay, and I found it, and so I was at the time I couldn't see Northern Lights, so I went to some lake, and I was looking at the night sky, the northern lights, and I tried to hitchhike to the sky because you know I that's another of my transportation. Like I hitchhiked for 4 months in Canada from west to east, so I want to. I want to check it out. Maybe there'll be some interesting place in the universe. So I thumbs up to hitchhike to the sky, and suddenly I was so scared. There'll be no any oxygen. I cannot meet my family again, and maybe they'll kill me. They'll have some experiment with my body or something. So I was very scared. So I thumbed down, and okay, let's start maybe traveling on the Earth first. That's really like something I started thinking about traveling the world, but I was not sure how to travel. And the New Year party came. I was invited to some parties. Then I don't know. Suddenly, I just tell people, you know what? Like in the party, people always ask, "Hey, where are you from? You know what? Yeah, those things." And then Hey, I'm from South Korea, and yeah, you know what? Next year I'll cycle the world, and then do you have? And then people ask me, do you have enough money? No, I don't have money. Do you have any experience? No. Do you know like any single thing like about cycling trip? No. But anyway, I'll do it. I'll do it. I usually said to everyone on the New Year party that I'll cycle the world, and at the time I was really believe some book. It is called Secret. I love this book. This book Secret or say that you have to tell your goal to people, so you have responsible to keep your promise. So that's why I just tell to everyone like, hey, I travel the world. I travel the world. So okay, then I have to I have to keep this promise. So I thought, okay, I have to travel the world because I told to everyone, and but actually still I just tell people, but I didn't have any plan until March. I really didn't have any plan. I didn't work hard. Like sometimes I was working in the like some kind of subway. I was making sandwich, and sometimes owner told me, hey, could you work on Saturday? And I said, no, I don't work Saturday. I only work from Monday to Friday. I really didn't work hard. I was not interested about extra money. I just want to relax life. But then from March, my visa will expire on July. So I had only 4 months left, and I saw my account, and I saw that there not much enough money. But I already tell everyone that I cycled the world this year, so I have to follow, this my goal. So I started working very hard. That I work from Monday to Sunday. I had a few jobs. Like I worked in video shop. Like I did cashier, and I worked in the kitchen as well. And also I worked in some restaurant. And also I made some sandwich. Like I had three jobs, and I was very tired. But I really like work hard to make money to travel the world. So after 3 months working hard, I made on my account. There were $12,000. So on the March, I had only $3,000. But I worked really, really hard. So for 4 months, I make how much did I make? Yeah, 9,000. Yeah, no, 8,000. So I make 8,000, and then no, 9,000. For 4 months, I made $9,000, and yeah, so I had $12,000 on the after my working holiday visa expired, and then but still I didn't know much information about bicycles, so I started searching about information, and I could extend my visa like as a tourist. So I stayed or like 1 2 months more in Canada to figure out how to start to traveling the world, and I decided to travel from San Francisco because I already hitchhiked in Canada for 4 months. So I flew from Canada to San Francisco, and I start my cycling trip from there. This is how I started the cycling trip. How is it my story? Was it interesting? If you have any question about this my story, you can ask me and I'll answer. So let me explain again. So I had only bicycle when I was a little child, like 10 years old. But then it was stolen, and I didn't have a bicycle for a long time. And when I was 21 years old, I was studying hard to change my major, but then I saw Canadian working holiday visa, and I never been out of my country, and I want to try some. I want to really went to North America So I decided, but my family was already, my mom already sent my brother to America, so we didn't have extra money. So I decided to go by myself. And I worked in office. I stopped my studying and I worked in office. And I had a vacation, so I rent bicycle and I cycled 9 days in some small island. I didn't have any proper bag. I didn't have a bicycle computer. I didn't know anything. I didn't know how to fix the flat tire. I just did it as a, vacation. Then I went to Canada with $12. $12 very little because I want to travel without money. I want to try, but then I felt I asked many people on the street, like, but every time people say no, 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 and I slept in 3 days at the airport. People really, some people give me some more money, so with the money I went back to airport and slept and went out again and asked people. Nobody really give me the place to stay. I just asked, can I sleep at your guest? But people say no, no, they gave me some more money. So I went back to airport. Then I was tired. Like I realized it's not possible. My English is horrible, and Vancouver is too cold place to do it. And some people give me some like a bus ticket about, but they kind of like $50, and that was money to take a bus. So I went to some farm and I made money, and I decided to hitchhike in Canada. So I hitchhiked in like 4 months in Canada, and in Toronto I met some guy. He said, I cycled 1 year and I got big impression. That was really like shock to me. So okay, I wanna travel the world, but I didn't think about like cycling. And I went to north in Yellowknife because I wanted to Northern Light, and then on the lake, on frozen lake, when I was watching Northern Light, I thumbs up hitchhike to see to check it out what's in the space. But then I was so scared, and I decided to okay, because there's no oxygen, no family, no friend, so I decided to travel on the Earth first. And New Year party, I talked to everyone. Hey, I travel the world by bicycle, and people ask me, do you know anything? And I said, I don't know anything. I don't have a bicycle. I don't have enough money. I have really nothing, but I will do it. But until March, I really didn't have such a plan. I didn't have really money enough. I had only $3,000 at the time. But then, oh, time is coming. My visa will be expired. So I really worked hard. Like I had total 3 jobs. And and end of July, I had $12,000. So that was enough money. I thought that for America, America, Latin America, I thought it would be enough, but I was not sure. It's not possible to travel the world with only $12,000. But I want to just start it, because if I keep thinking about making planes, it will be not possible to start. So I just okay, let's prepare a little. Let's start with the small thing. So that's how I started traveling, and I flew from Canada to the San Francisco, because I heard that San Francisco has so many bicycle and it's easy to buy things. So that's why I searched from San Francisco. In Canada, I hitchhiked from north to west. I mean, in Canada, I hitchhiked from west to east. So I saw Canada more than most of Canadians. So Canada was enough to see. So I searched from America. And yeah, that's how I started cycling. And let's see your question. Uh, why you didn't go to Portland, which is great cycling place? Why San Francisco? Because I know, even I at the time I heard many times about like Portland, but I want to start from a little bit south, because Portland is north in America, right? And I was a little bit maybe afraid because America is so big, and if I start from north, I don't know when I reach the south, right? So I started from San Francisco. Did you train hard before starting your cycling journey? No, I really didn't. I didn't train. I'm not much like prepared person. I just it's my habit that I usually don't prepare much. And like this is not racing. I have plenty of time that there, and I was also cycling alone. So there's no reason to push myself hard. So I didn't train. Actually, I wanted to maybe train, but in Canada I didn't have in Yellowknife. I didn't have a bicycle. Someone gave me some bicycle, but it was broken, so it was really difficult to cycle. So I really didn't train, and I think that you don't need to train because if you have only like 2 weeks vacation and if you have to cycle 1,000 kilometer, maybe you have to train. But if you don't have any like distance you must cycle, you just go 2 weeks cycling trip. No reason, no, not at all to train. Just enjoy. It's not racing. How did I find my gear to start? Uh, I bought my bicycle through online. Yeah. So next in the live stream, I'll talk about from how I start. I mean, how did I prepare my bicycle and how I was feeling, to cycle in first experience. So I will talk about that next video. If you have any question, ask me. I'll answer you now about like my Canadian life, or I mean my life in Canada, or how was I afraid of starting, or any question. Hello, Elizabeth. Hello, Elizabeth. When I before start the cycling trip, I told my mom that I just travel America. I didn't tell detailed things like, oh, I will travel the world. Like, I didn't tell detailed things. I just tell one by one. I didn't want to shock my mom. This is such a good plan, Don't shock your mom. Just tell one by one. Yeah. So everything's all right. Yeah, I think we handle. Yeah, enough. And my mom is very patient, so I really appreciate. And any other question? Okay, if there's no question, then I will finish my live stream. And next Tuesday morning, I'll have a live stream again about I how I prepared. I mean, how I bought my gears and everything, and how like was impression of my first day of cycling. There's some question. Yeah, actually, yeah, my mom is amazing. Yeah. Yeah, James, I'll talk about the next time. Next live stream is Tuesday morning, similar time. It will be 7 a. I mean here, it will be similar time. I'll have this event notification, and you can watch it again. Today I was a bit like mumbling and those things because I'm having a bit like problem with my gear. I'm having like my screen is 6 seconds late, so I cannot really check how I'm doing. It's different from live stream my phone. My phone is really like it's really sync well from its live time, but this webcam is like few seconds are slower than like what I'm saying. So I just, like I just block my screen because it really make me confused, and I'm just checking your chat. So thank you for watching my story. I think that's interesting, and see you next time. Thank you for watching. Have a good day, good night, good morning. Bye bye.